All right, we are back, huh? We're back at the 9 Club, everybody. Today, we have a very special guest. Mr. Matt Berger is with us. How are you, dude?
Every time, bro. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. The intro, it gets people sometimes,
It just got me right now.
I made people laugh. I made people cry.
I thought you were tossing it to me right there, like.
Well, I just like to point. I like to bring. It builds up the anticipation.
That was a quick one, though.
It was a quick.
That was a quick one?
Yeah, usually it's like, there's like a 5-second pause
sometimes. I like to switch it up, man. You know what I mean? I like to, get a little anticipation. I don't know. It's weird.
Surprise people. Yeah.
Let me see. What kind of drink you drinking there, man? Turn that around for the camera.
We're
it's
doing,
a monster.
We're doing that right now. Straight to it. Like,
it's a monster.
Branded placement.
It's a monster. Okay, good. Crack
I am a
open,
fan,
dude.
but,
Yeah, for sure. Dude,
straight to it.
Thanks for coming. Appreciate that, bro. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Genuinely.
How's the body's good? You're skating well right now?
Yeah.
What's going, everything's...
Well, you just got hurt, right? Or are you just recovering? Or
no, so I basically in spring of last year, I was having problems with my back. My back was bugging, so I got it looked at, and they're like, "You're fine. This is normal."
Mm-hmm.
And then I went and got my hip checked out because my hip was getting real tight. That's why I called you, like a month ago, to hear about your situation.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, you're skating on a torn labrum and your hip is broken."
What?
And this is like 6 months out from the Olympics, right? That's what everyone's on. So I was like, "Damn, that's crazy," because my hip never hurts. It's always my back.
Yeah.
But anyways,
But I don't understand though. Like your back's hurting. What's the degree of pain that your back was in? Like to go get it checked out, it must have hurt a little.
I mean, I was so used to it. Now, after having the hip surgery, is what I had in September, and being out of pain, I was like, I was living in like a good 8 to 9 every day.
Wow.
But I was so used to it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Lower back, middle back.
Low back, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be like when you would skate, it would kind of go away, but it would come back when you were done? Like, did you forget about it as you were skating, kind of?
It is one of the weirdest things I've had. So if I got physio, go to Dr. G. Shout out Dr. G. Hooked me up a long time. But he would manipulate my back, and then I would feel 100% pain gone. I go skate, and I can last the whole session, adrenaline, and then as soon as I'm done, it's like, holy shit, I can't do anything. I can't step on my board the next day. So every session I had, the next day I had to go get physio and get my back cracked and worked on.
Wow.
And so I was like, damn, there's no way I can continue to do this as a skateboarder long term. Something has to happen. So get my back looked at, and like, they're like, no, it's actually not that bad. And so then looked at the hip specialist.
Well, why go to the hip specialist? Are you just trying to figure? Did the back guy go, "Hey, go see the hip guy" or something? They're all connected, maybe.
Well, it was more my physio was mentioning it, because I think a lot of times, especially with skaters, is like we forget that everything is connected.
Sure.
You can get knee pain because your hip isn't sitting right.
Right.
I didn't know that was necessarily the case, but we learned that along the way.
Sure.
But yeah, it was crazy. And so after the Olympics, I came home and I tried to skate, and I was like, I literally can't skate anymore. It's over.
Wow.
So you battled it. You just did that same routine until you went to the Olympics.
Yeah, I actually was taking this super gnarly anti-inflammatory in order to skate those events.
Dude, Lord. Every event leading up to, because you have to qualify. You have to go to every event. You got to get all the points and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. Skaters are resilient, man. We're a different breed, bro.
Straight up.
Were you just focused on the contest at that point and just the Olympics and no street skating really? And just like, yo, I'm just going to do this and that's it.
It would go in waves. Like when I had, like through the winter, always filming. No question. Because I have a nice gap in between the events. But with the condition my body was in, as soon as it became contest time, because that's once a month pretty much leading in, especially towards the end, there's no way I could handle it, especially I already told you, like I have a session, I got to go get worked on,
Damn. So continue. So you go to the hip specialist, and they said your hip was broken.
Yeah, they're basically like, dude, you're old as hell.
Okay.
No, it pretty much was. I was like, all right, I'm ready for. This is going to be a whole year. Going to get hip reconstruction, pretty much labrum fixed, and like they're going to take the floating bone out. So I went and had the surgery in September, and then I come back after being under for surgery, and the guy's like, I got good news for you. I'm like, well, what are you saying, doc?
But you wake up and you're all so messed up.
My brain is like so ready for like the worst next year, you know? And he's like, the labrum wasn't torn, your hip wasn't broken, and you just had a hip impingement.
Okay.
And so hip impingement is like, you know how skaters get their ankles cleaned out because they get bone spurs?
Yep.
I had that in my hip. And so the bone spurs were causing my pelvic alignment to shift because when I would absorb an ollie, that impact would shift my pelvis. And then that's where the back pain was
It
coming
makes
from.
perfect sense.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
But it's so weird because my hip never really bothered that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's been my life for the last few months.
They cleaned it out, and you're good.
It's crazy, yeah.
Do you know how long ago you did that injury?
They said it's just something
Over
that
time.
It's just
Over
wear and
time.
tear. That's
Yeah.
what happened with mine too. It's just over the years of skating.
But how come? But yours is still. You still have problems with yours though. It seems like it's more than just a clean out.
Yeah, mine just is messed up. I don't even know. Like me and him talked for probably half an hour the other day about I have to go back and get an MRI and all this stuff like that. But his was mine was towards the bottom of my leg, like hip to down. Yours was back and hip.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing because I would be in this insane amount of back pain where it was like the concept of skating at all was crazy. But if I got my pelvic alignment manipulated by my chiropractor, then I'd feel brand new again.
Right.
And so it was this black and white world I was living in. So at those events, because you judge them still, right?
I don't know. It's,
Not the world skate?
not the last year. No.
Okay, yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
But it literally, I'd get work done and then go skate, and then my body's destroyed, and then back to it. So, but I'm stoked because I've been skating as of lately because I'm finally at the point where I can step back on my board.
Oh, I was going to ask, how long did it take for you to heal and get back on the board?
Yeah, it was about 4.5 months.
4.5
5
months.
yeah.
Okay.
See, that's nuts. To me, that's quick. Because I started skating around 6.
Yeah.
So that's who hit me up? Someone hit me was like, yo, Berger's skating already after 3 months? That's pretty gnarly.
I think the doctor was right though. I did get lucky because didn't you have a labrum tear or something?
I had a cadaver labrum put in. My labrum was completely gone.
Yeah, it's a whole different ball game right there.
I always just trip though how they say one thing. You're like, oh, you completely tore your labrum and your hip's broken, and then you're like, oh, your labrum's not broken and your hip's wasn't broken.
No,
it was just hip impingement.
Yeah. And then that blew my mind because I brought it to multiple surgeons as well.
Really?
So that's where you can, MRIs tell everything, but sometimes there can be a little bit of misdiagnosis. They don't really know until they're finally in there, unfortunately.
Doesn't that suck too? Is you could have dealt with this when it was happening in the very beginning and got it all over with, but you suffered through. I mean, how long was it that you had that?
I think I've been dealing with it for probably 3 years, but it was just working through it. And then literally towards the final 6 months, it was just
Worse and worse.
Oh yeah. It was insane.
Right.
So
I think it's hard when those type of injuries that we've had, when you don't have that, you don't fall on it. It's not that instant thing that happens. It's hard to know that something's wrong.
yeah.
Other than it hurts, you're not thinking, oh, my labrum must be gone or something. You're like, oh, my back's just really sore. I've been working it out. I got to work it out more or do more physio. But it's no, dude, over time, this is what happens to you. And you don't think about, you think you can go on forever as a kid skating, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've had, a handful of surgeries in my career, and the hip one, I've been very grateful because it's been the most smooth sailing one, in all honesty. But when I had bone replacement done in my knee, whatever, I think it was 7 or 8 years ago, and that was considered experimental. It's a long story, but
Well, wait. What do you mean experimental? in your knee. Well, no, because my thinking, right? You're a skateboarder. You don't want anything experimental. You want a tried, tested, and true thing that's going to get you back on the board. If they're like, oh, it's experimental, we'll try something out on you. You're like, no, I want to give me the shit,
right?
You know, and make sure this works.
Yeah. So I don't know how much you guys, I mean, you're around for sure, but when I first came into skateboarding and like turned pro, it was like I was probably around for a good year and a half. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden my knee was just toast. And so I went and got an MRI, and I saw this very special doctor, and he was suggesting that they do bone replacement. So basically they go in, drill a hole, and they implant a donor's like a plug of cartilage and bone, and then your body over a 10-month period takes it and then replaces that area. So my first surgery with it, I did, I was too afraid of that. I was like, that's too gnarly. I did the traditional route.
Oh, okay.
That shit was the bad call.
Really?
It was a terrible decision. And then, so after that, it was like, all right, my career is clearly toast. Like I'm 23 and I can't even, like, I can't ollie right now, you know what I mean? It was just, it's done, but I want to at least feel good, maybe ride a board one day.
Right.
And then, so I just had this gut feeling with this doctor, and I mean, he was a very decorated surgeon, Dr. Mandelbaum. And yeah, I went back to him and bit the bullet and did the surgery, but I still to this day don't know any skaters that ever had it, but I was very lucky because I'm able to still skate now because of it.
What was wrong with your knee in the first place? Did you tear your ACL? Was it a slam? It was just a progressive thing, like just like the hip?
I had a hole, like a divot in my cartilage in my knee, and so the best way a doctor explained it to me, it's like, picture you have a car that can drive down a road, but you can only go forward and back, like how your knee is when it bends. But every single time you do that, you're hitting this big pothole in your cartilage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so the bone was like gone and catacoming, which is obviously kind of gnarly. But
dude.
Yeah, that's what they called it. They said it was like sludge when they got in there. Wow. But I was lucky enough I had the resources to go, and I got someone else's bone implanted into my knee.
Okay.
And they can guarantee up to like 90% cartilage. And then it was about a year and a half until I stepped back on my board and felt good.
Wow.
And then it's been incredible since. I couldn't believe it. I was very lucky.
Did they have that cartilage like ready, like, or did you have to kind of wait? Was there a waiting period?
I had to wait a month until they found someone, because it's a very unfortunate way, obviously. You receive that.
Sure.
Totally.
Right?
Somebody's
it's like
it's someone who's like, hey, I'll donate my body to medical reasons after I've passed. And yeah, it's crazy that it even exists. And originally I went to Canada to try and get it done because, as we know, it's expensive.
Totally.
But they didn't even offer it in Canada. It's like too cutting edge. So, but
you were down here and didn't got it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, we just went straight into like, damn, I'm old and decrepit and hurting, man.
No, it's not even that. Like, I think a lot of people, I especially like appreciate it because, I mean, a lot of our listeners or viewers, our community can like, I mean, maybe that it gives them hope or something. Maybe they have the same thing and they don't know that they can just get their hip cleaned out. You know, it's like, I think it's important to talk about the injuries and how we can overcome them and certain things that, I mean, I didn't know about this hole that they drilled in and it grows cartilage, like experimental thing.
It doesn't grow. No, it's just literally, I had photos of it after my surgery and they show the hole they drill, and it's like a perfect circular hole they use with just a drill bit, and then showed me the area that they implanted the cartilage, which literally fit like a puzzle piece. So crazy they can do it, man.
Yeah.
It's what they use, like a DeWalt or something. They just get in there. Like, what did they?
Well, yeah, the DeWalt medical grade. You know.
Okay.
They go to Home Depot. They grab some stuff.
Go to Home Depot, get a 2/5 inch bolt drill.
Yeah.
Now, where is this? Where is this doctor based out of?
Santa Monica.
Santa Monica.
Okay, perfect. Right here.
Sick.
Yeah. No, he's a very good person, and I'm actually stoked to share it because after going through that, because that is like. That period was gnarly because everything was over. It was like, oh, I cannot do this anymore. There's no way. Okay, this is the last straw. I'm going to go spend all this money and do the surgery, right?
Totally.
And I was lucky enough that, it worked, right? But I worked my ass off and took it very seriously all the way through.
Right.
And I think that's one thing I've always carried ever since is like, wait, Like the body has a tremendous ability to heal and come back from injuries, but you got to put the work in.
Yeah.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Let me ask you a question. You said you were 23 when this happened?
Yeah, I was like 22 or 23.
22 or 23. And you said you were just kind of came on the scene for
Yeah.
like a year, right?
Mhm.
Were you already sponsored? Were you already hooked up at that point? Or were you just kind of getting your foot in the door?
Yeah. Yeah, no, at that point, like I had my pro part come out with Flip.
Oh, seriously?
And then
It
I
was happened
on
that fast?
Etnies, and then
Got you.
like I was doing
Okay.
the street league thing and whatnot. And then, yeah, basically about a year later, it was just like, oh shit. All right.
So
here
yeah,
we
that
are.
it's kind of like it's either like a do or die situation.
now or never.
Not in that extreme, but like either I do it and I succeed and I continue with my career, or I just kind of give up.
Yeah. Well, honestly, like mentally, I still put in the work, but I gave up on the dream of being a skateboarder still,
Oh, yeah.
because after my first surgery that I had done, that was the traditional route,
Yeah.
and it just didn't work. And that was a good year and a half wasted, right? And
So we're looking at almost 3 years.
it was
of this.
4 years. 4
4
years until I was like finally back and like, oh wow, it worked. So I was like that whole period basically. But
Devastating though. Imagine getting on Flip, turning pro, like doing this whole thing, street leagues going on, and then now all of a sudden, like 4 years, like
yeah.
into it, you're like,
That's
dude.
mentally taxing.
And the
for
first
sure.
one that doesn't
Yeah.
even work,
Mhm.
that's got to be such a like a heavy feeling, you know,
Especially if
of,
it's like-
despair and like hopelessness almost.
Especially if it's like the standard practice. Hey, we do this and it should be good.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
Give me the
yeah.
tested, tried and true.
Yeah.
Give me that. I don't
Yeah.
want the experimental one. But bro, lo and behold,
Yeah.
the experimental one is
Worked.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely had the accolades.
Okay.
Like when I was in there was like soccer players in Europe that have whatever $100 million contracts he'd worked on. So I was like, I knew I was in good hands, but it's still, I hadn't, like, I remember trying to Google the surgery to hear about it. There was nothing.
you couldn't even research.
So mentally, I was like, well, fuck it, last hurrah. Like, let's just do it, you know?
Yeah.
In that
And-
case, sometimes it's a good thing because I mean, you pull up some shit and it'll have a bunch of shit that kind of discourage you or put you in a better mindset. But majority, sometimes it'll be scaring yourself.
Sometimes I Google like runny,
too much information.
Yeah, for
You know what
sure.
I mean?
I Google like runny
Yeah.
nose, and I'm like, damn, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, WebMD will violate it real quick.
Google says I'm gonna die. It's crazy. But it is scary when you
Yeah.
start to Google like symptoms and stuff like that.
For sure.
But 4 years late. I mean, this was how long ago? When was when did you get back on the board? You said last year.
Like after the whole niece thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, bro, I'm
Oh no, the
so-
back thing was a year ago.
Well, that I was dealing with that, but I literally just started really rolling around like 2 weeks ago, where I can
Okay.
actually like skate.
Oh, I feel like when did I see you at P Rod's Park? Like
Yeah,
maybe
okay.
that was like a year ago. Maybe,
Yeah, it was
or
about a year or
something.
so.
Okay,
Mhm.
because you were killing it back then. So that must have been in between.
That was just still in the midst of it. I was just
Oh,
going,
you were.
yeah.
So after you skated that day, you probably
that-
went back and
that
did
drive
physio
home was a
and-
violation.
I was about to say you were fucking it up that day. I remember, yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was going on the whole time.
Wow.
I mean, judging by your
I
skating,
mean,
you
were
can't
we
tell.
really gonna show our cards? You know,
Yeah.
like
Hey man,
Yeah.
I will tell people my
Hey.
shit's fucked up.
You know what though? That is a good point though, because like I mean, especially I think that sometimes skaters don't want to say what's going on. Like you have sponsors, you have all these people that are like, paying you. You're having a career, and like
Yeah.
you don't want to like say, hey, this is what's happening. I messed up, because it's
Oh, yeah.
kind of scary.
You don't have to put that unnecessary energy out there if you don't need to. Like just in general, like keep it to yourself. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
almost like you're putting that energy out to them, and then they know, and then you're just like, I don't know.
Well,
Sometimes
some
it's-
people share it on Instagram,
For sure,
and some
for sure,
people
their
don't.
journey,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think if I was younger and I had the the chocolate thing, and we were on tours and filming videos, I don't know if I would put it out there
yeah.
at that point. I think I would keep it under wraps and maybe just
But you would have to tell your sponsors though. I'm
no. I would
assuming.
just lie. Be like, no, I'm not skating. Oh, I skated today. No, I killed it. Got some clips.
No, but
you
like
know?
Monster,
And
I'm
then
sure.
they'll got no clips.
I'm sure Joey should get, if I had Monster or something, they're like, "Hey, what's going on?" You're like, "Oh, I'm just hanging out for a year."
6
like,
months.
I gotta-
Well, you also have to
They're like,
think-
what is it at the bar? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
no,
certain
no, no.
individuals that you're gonna confide
For
in, obviously.
sure.
Yeah.
But not just
Obviously.
your everyday like acquaintance that you don't be seeing all the time. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
No, for sure.
No, it
I
just
don't think
depends.
there's. I mean, I didn't put it out there, especially because, well, I mean, when you're skating like whatever, street league or filming a video part, like, oh, he's injured. Like, yeah, that's normal, right?
Sure.
But when you're going into the Olympic thing, like, you have people trying to create stories and like report. It's such a different beast. So it's like, you definitely don't want to go there publicly. So for me, I was like, I'm just going to grind this out until afterwards,
Even with skating, there people are creating stories and stuff with the Olympics and whatnot.
Yeah,
They're like trying to get. Who are these people? Just press or
just
like
press? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it could be press from any country, whatever. It's just someone trying to create a story. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you something. How did you've been in both Olympics?
Yeah.
You were in the one in Japan, Tokyo, and then you were the one in Paris.
Yeah.
What was your experience, and what do you think about it now that it's all said and done? I mean, and another one's coming, obviously, and it's going to be in LA here, but
yeah.
Maybe just how was your experience doing it, but also like, what do you think it's done for skateboarding, if anything?
Right. I mean, I can't speak to the finances or whatever in the core world. I don't know how that works. I don't know businesses. I think the coolest thing that I've noticed from it is when we go to these contests for the qualifying and whatnot, like, I've met Team Jamaica. All of these kids that never had a path ever. They're literally geographically, they're stuck, right? But because this got to this level and there is that Olympic kind of title now, there suddenly is a pathway and an opportunity because there's so many good skaters. Sure. And a lot of skaters outside of the U.S. can probably relate to this, but a lot of times you're geographically screwed for your trajectory career-wise, especially in your guys' era where it was like VHS tapes or you skated in front of this dude, right? Now it's a bit different with social media.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's always going to be debates and there's all sorts of stuff, but I think that's been the coolest thing. Like, I have friends from the Philippines, I've met people from Africa and all these, people from Peru, and it's like they're there and traveling the world because of that.
That is awesome, dude.
So I think that's been probably my favorite, is creating friends that way.
That's a good outlook on it.
That's
for sure.
One side of it, like, people don't really get to see, and I get it,
Right. Because you do hear the stories about, like Christiana Means was like a coach in China and, and she had a kind of a bad experience there with them kind of forcing kids into skateboarding and stuff like that. So you hear the stories and you're like, God, this is so not how it's supposed to be.
Skating brings such a different vibe to the Olympics in general, just because all the skaters that, even if they're skating against each other from different countries, they still like cheer for each other. You know what I mean? And I know that, well, in certain sports in the Olympics, they are not doing that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? They just root for their team, if that. And, that's it. But the camaraderie definitely stands out. And I'm sure that resonated in the Olympics, seeing that. You know what I mean?
I mean, that was one thing that was cool about this last Olympics, because Tokyo was like, because of COVID, I mean, it didn't feel like, it was like one of the weirdest events
that was weird
in history.
That was weird.
But this one was cool because, like, I mean, I remember skating practice and Felipe was going too fast, trying to like gap kickflip crook the big hubba from the bump. And I was like, dude, you just got to go a little slower and you'll do it, bro. Just slow down a little bit. You know what I mean? Normal skate shit. Helping out your homies, right? That's what we would do.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I can't remember who it was like, see, that's why skateboarding's so sick. Like, we're at the Olympic level and like, you guys are competitors, but you're still trying to help each other out.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to up myself with that, because I didn't even think about it. I'm like, oh yeah, every other sport or whatever that's here, they're not ever doing that. But to me, I'm from the era where it's like, no, you give a mutual respect. We're here to skate for ourselves. And ironically, even though, I skate the Olympics, like, I'm still in the headspace of like, don't skate against me, skate with me.
Right.
Like, I feed off, if you were skating the contest and you killed it, I'm going to feed off that and try and get that energy and go out there and do my thing, So. And
that's when you realize you're like, oh, Felipe, go faster. Go faster, Felipe. Go faster, man. You need to take 3 more pushes.
Try to fuck your shit up.
Yeah. No, but it's so true, though, right? It's just like you guys are just out there skating a park. It is a contest, but I feel the same way when I watch, and I don't watch Street League that much, I got to admit. But when I went to the Street League in San Diego, it's the Midler broke his board, and Vincent Malou sprang into action. He's grabbed Miller's board, grabbed the new one. He was on the sidelines trying to change the board as quickly as he could.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like they're skating against each other. You know,
Yeah.
it's like Miller could have beat out Vincent, but
Yeah.
Vincent's there. Like Vincent's the dopest dude ever, by the way. But you know, it's like it's that camaraderie, and I was like, dude, that's sick, dude. I was standing right there,
That's
like,
always
dude, that was
separated
dope.
us too, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why going and skating Tampa for I think it's been around for like 25 years or something.
Almost 30, I
Probably
think.
30, yeah.
Yeah.
30, yeah.
But it's like, yeah, it's a contest, but we still keep that camaraderie, and we're here for skateboarding because we share that. It's not like,
Yeah.
oh, you did that frontside flip. Well, I'm going to do it better like that. I mean, that's not my headspace, at least when I'm skating.
I'm
this
sure
stuff,
there's
so-
kids out there that like that. I'm
Unfortunately-
sure there is.
Unfortunately, and I feel
There
Well,
was, and then they learn. Then they
You
learn
grow up.
that
Yeah.
don't work.
Yeah.
But you know what though? Like I
at some
feel,
point you burn out with that mentality.
yeah, no, that's true. It's true. I just feel like I don't know. Sometimes I get bummed because I feel like the Olympics did kind of bring on a certain mentality for kids. you
Oh,
know?
yeah, for sure.
It did bring on
some of the new kids.
Yeah, it did bring on just a training mentality and
Yeah.
like just going for the Olympics, and that's the only pathway. They're not going
Yeah.
to film any video parts. They're not going to experience the culture. They're not going to go kick it in Barcelona for 6 months or wherever it might be and post up and have that like experience with other skateboarders.
Right.
Maybe they will in the future, but right now they just have this mentality of like their little kids are going to go that's their path, Olympics.
Yeah.
You know, and it kind of bums me out. I'm like, dude,
Yeah, I get that, but at the same time, I mean, the dude who won the last 2 Olympics,
is a street skater. He's
and-
filming
and
video parts.
You know what I mean?
It's a plus,
so it's like
for sure.
we have that. Maybe it could go that path. I obviously hope it doesn't, but I feel like it's the core still holds that, and we cherish street skateboarding so much, you know.
Yeah.
And then, like, if I'm a kid growing up and you're introduced to skateboarding through the Olympics, you see Utah, you're like, whoa, he does all this other street shit. Like, this is so sick, right?
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, there's always going to be pros and cons, you know what I mean? And I ain't here to defend it because there's always issues, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
but it's
I mean-
given pathways and, like, support for people that I don't think would ever have the opportunity even to get some money from the core industry, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, it's
There's pros and
it
cons
is
for
what it
sure.
is,
Everybody's
you
got
know?
their opinions of it, you know,
Yeah.
and those opinions might change, you know. Like right
Mhm.
now, I think I'm kind of I'm not entirely sold on it. Some of the things bum me out a little
Yeah.
bit, you know, but
They're
hey,
learning.
it could change, you know. My as opinions should, right?
Yeah.
They should, you know.
I'm really curious to see what the next one's going to look like. If it's going to be like a whole new group of like faces.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I just found out today, I didn't realize this, that the qualifying is like you get, so there's from now to the next Olympics, there's like, you get the qualifying points, but it goes out after 18 months. And then you have to start over again.
Wait, say that again.
So it goes 18 months of like qualifying, and then all those points you're done.
For what? Why?
And I don't know. It's only points.
Why not just skip those 18 months and just go right into the next one?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I know. I don't make the rules. I just heard this today. So I'm like, why? They're like, I don't know. It's just the way every other sport is lined up. And so you can do the first 18 months to set you up in a better spot for the next, like the next 18 months. But at the end of the day, you could skip the first 18 months if you want and just go straight
But
to the next.
does it also depend on like how many people are going for it for your country? Because I'm sure that differs too,
Yeah.
right? There could be like 30 Canadians going for that spot, or there could be like, like 12 Jamaicans, right? Like I don't.
It depends. Like it kind of sets you up to be better ranked.
Yeah.
I guess that's only it. Like, but your points, the last 18 months is the only thing that really matters, I believe.
It sounds like some crazy decisions that someone who doesn't skate is definitely making. That.
Yeah. and I just heard that
That
today.
makes no sense. But
And I just have a feeling there's going to be there was a lot of new faces this last year.
yeah.
But
There's always going to be a couple new.
I wonder how much of
Yeah.
it's going to be like a lot though.
Oh wait, are you going to go again for LA?
I don't
it's
know.
Here. You might
I
as
mean,
well.
I'm open to it. I
Yeah.
think the bottom line for me is like, as long as I enjoy it, I'm still going to obviously do this.
Okay,
You know?
right.
And it's so funny, even like, going to the Olympics and whatnot, is I feel like my headspace is so different because I just want to go out and skate for myself, which probably most people don't, you know what I mean? Like my focus is I just want to land my run. I'm not worrying about the score, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't see why not. Like I still enjoy to compete and do those things. But
Nice.
right now, especially after doing this and going through all that, like I'm excited to get back to the streets, get back to filming.
Right.
So I've been filming pretty much. I got like 2 years worth of footage right now, which is cool. Just been kind of hanging out sitting on it, but I'm not ready to release anything with it.
What are we going to do with it?
I don't even know.
2 years.
Yeah, something will come.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Certain project you're waiting for.
Yeah.
You're not going to do like a little self part, put it out on a YouTube channel.
I don't know yet.
Mm.
But I'm stoked because I feel I have this freedom right now, and I think the bottom line, especially for me, is like I've always tried to protect how much I enjoy skateboarding and try and not let all the noise come in and affect it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a lot of noise.
And like, I mean, you guys have been pro skaters, I'm sure, contracts, whatever, that stuff has affected things at times, and you figure it out.
Right.
But I'm just stoked in the spot I am, where I literally enjoy skating as much as I did when I was like 15 years old at the skate park. So
Sometimes
it's cool.
Back to the
losing a
Yeah.
sponsor, it can be devastating, but sometimes it is freeing. It is a weight off the shoulder sometimes, you know, depending on what it is and where you're at and what your mindset is at the time. But I think sometimes it kind of opens up doors and you just kind of have this weight off your shoulders, you know, because like the whole flip thing, right?
Right.
It's like we just talked about it. You were on flip coming in that year. And then after you had all the surgeries and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's rewind it a little bit and like just the journey to get on flip. Well, coming from a Canadian,
Yeah.
some Canadians have it really easy
We're
and
gonna
they
go
slide in there.
grassroots then.
Okay.
Yeah.
And some have it hard. You know, some have it really. They go through the distributor and
Yeah.
the shop flow and all that stuff. How was your experience?
Man, I had one of the most bizarre paths for sure. I was very lucky along the way,
Well,
but
first of all, where's Camp Lupa? Wait, what is it
Bruh,
called?
come on,
Camp
you can't
Loops?
read?
Camp Loops.
Kamloops.
Kamloops. I'm telling you, Canada has a.
He has a hard time with
It's not
names.
that hard to read.
Chris
like-
has a hard time with names.
All I know,
This is normal.
Berger. All I know is Saskatoon and Regina. Those are my favorite places up there. man.
You've never been. There's
I
no
have.
way.
I've
You
been
just
to
remembered the
Saskatoon.
name.
I've been to Saskatoon
stand
and I've
out.
Do a
been to
chocolate tour
Regina
there or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
We went through over the middle of Canada, dude. It was Calgary,
that chocolate
Saskatoon. Yeah, we did a little chocolate tour up there. It was amazing. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah.
Sick.
Where is Kamloops?
Still having problems.
It's gonna happen all episode.
Now that
dude.
you highlighted it, it's
I'm
the
sorry.
problem.
I'm sorry. It's going to be tough for me
Yeah.
all night. But where is that in relation in Canada?
It's like 3 hours inland from Vancouver.
Oh,
So it's central
Okay.
BC. Yeah.
yeah.
Shit, what were we going to talk about?
Oh, did you come up like writing for
Yeah.
Flip
Right.
and getting sponsored and all that stuff?
I mean, it's been such a bizarre thing because I got into skating, I think it was like 99 maybe, or 2000. It was right when Tony Hawk was entering that like mom and dad know, right? He's getting really famous, video games going crazy.
Yeah. How old were you?
I got a board for Christmas, like a Walmart board when I was about 4.
Oh,
and then
shit.
I started
Jesus
rolling
Christ.
on the board when I was about 5. And then I was like every day by the time I was 6.
Okay.
But it was born out of like, I just saw some kids in the neighborhood rolling around and it looked cool. And then so I grabbed my board and actually tried it. And yeah, I remember my first session, I couldn't even stand up on the board, but it just kind of captured me.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough when my parents were finally able to buy a house. The house they bought came with this 27-foot concrete patio in the backyard. So it's like, 2 garages per se. So it was perfect for like learning flat ground. And then that was where it was born. But yeah, there wasn't actually any real skaters. The kids I saw, I think, were just kind of testing the waters
Sure.
in my neighborhood. But fast forward, I was doing it so much, and my dad was like, "This is crazy how much he's just skating on his own accord."
Progressing too.
Oh, I mean, I was terrible in the beginning. No.
No, but I mean, like you could see.
Everyone sucks at the beginning.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself, Kelly. I was amazing.
I don't know. I've met some people who like they learned to kickflip within a week or
Yeah,
whatever. It
yeah.
took me like a year to get a proper ollie and another year to get a kickflip.
Okay,
Granted, I was
okay,
really young,
okay.
but yeah. And then next thing you know was I'd get taken to the skate park when on the weekends when my dad isn't working, swinging hammers, and then he started pirating videos off of. You guys remember LimeWire?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Dubs knows it all
I
too
used to
well.
be on LimeWire, bro.
Yeah. A good era for sure. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, he pirated Transworld in Bloom,
Okay. Wow.
Video Radio, Girl Yeah Right,
Damn.
Menikamati, and I'm forgetting one more right now. it'll come back. Oh yeah, and then the flip videos.
Ooh,
I love
That's
that
a good bunch
Pops.
to
I
start
love
with.
that Pops is ripping. Skate
Never
videos
skated,
off
just
of
did his
LimeWire.
research and was like, I'm gonna get some videos from a kid, and hey, I don't want to pay for it. Yeah.
Those are all
so
like
good.
super influential, good
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much my Bible. So I watched all those videos and just skated my backyard. And then as the years kind of progressed, I don't know if you guys ever went to it, but there used to be this contest back in the day.
Here you are, right
it
here.
was
Is this
called-
you?
Damn, where'd you get these clips? Is that on YouTube?
Yeah, man.
Oh, shit. I
Well, you
didn't
can
even know
download it
that.
off LimeWire.
Yeah, this is
So
stuff
sick.
What
my
is that
dad would-
rail?
My dad literally would take
That's so
random
tight.
shit from the work sites he was on and then just try and build stuff.
Dude, that is sick, dude.
Wow.
That you got the fades on, Lakai fades.
Are those the fakes?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Shit.
It's rad. Look at that rail. God
Yeah,
damn.
it was sketchy. But
So
yeah,
that was your patio where you learned how to skate.
Wow.
that's where everything was kind of born out of. And then once I started to get a little better, and my parents took me to Vancouver to go see Slam City Jam.
City Jam. I knew you were gonna say that.
You go to those?
Yeah, I went to 2 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, such a great contest, man.
Yeah, that was the local park I grew up skating for like the first 8
That
years.
thing looks horrible, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. You
Was that
fall,
the
one,
park-
you fall one time and like palms are they're gone.
But wait a minute, I did hear. Was that the park that Tony Hawk came and said that park sucked, and then they built a new park?
Yep. Yeah, and
Wow.
Tony blessed us. He did a demo for
He
us
blessed us. Said the
He
park
did.
sucks.
because we were trying to get money for years through the skate association, and Tony did a demo and they did a whole news article, and we asked him actually if he could help out with the skate park, and like, oh, we're not actually able to do that, but you know, we'll let the media know. So he said it was the worst skate park he ever skated.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, and so the city got really bummed and gave us all that money, and then we got a good park. So shout out to Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk, just by him saying to the news outlets that was the worst park he's ever skated,
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
they did not want that on their front lawn, huh?
Yeah.
They wanted
No.
to build a nice park. Damn.
So wait, how nice is the new park?
I mean, it was built off of like one of the last Slam City Jam courses, so it was like it was a
Okay.
blessing. It was really
Amazing.
good. Yeah, for its time period, it was really good. It's still really
Is
good.
this
to
the
this
park?
day.
Is that the new park? Or
Damn,
is this
you're
a
pulling
different?
up all this old shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, this is the park.
Oh, Super
Oh
Distribution.
yeah, that thing looks super fun.
I think I was like 17 at this time.
Yeah.
Skating for like Maddox. Remember Maddox?
Dude,
Yes.
hell yeah. Dubs used to go raid the warehouse over
Oh
there.
yeah, he couldn't keep me away.
Yeah, I was on the-
They put a cage. They put a cage, and that would get past the cage.
Dubs pulled the car up, man, popped the trunk.
Damn, I'm going down memory lane right now. I forgot about this edit.
So
Wow.
basically, Tony Hawk dissed the park.
Mm.
They built this park
Yeah.
in its place, which looks. I remember back in the day too. I feel like Canada was the first that had kind of like plaza parks,
Mm-hmm.
and we're like, dude, why? How come we can't have parks like that? I forget what park it was or whatever, but I feel like
Maybe
they
it
were
was
on
the
the.
Vancouver Plaza,
It could have been,
or
maybe.
it was this when you were in you didn't go to Manitoba?
No,
right?
no,
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
think so.
They have a plaza out there too.
Okay.
But
So going back to growing up and skating, and then was Flip. I mean, tell us how it was though, because like I said, sometimes
Right.
Canadians have a harder path, and sometimes they have an easy path, depending on.
right. Well, that era was like this is the era where you'd film a video part, put it together, you put it on a VHS tape,
Send it in.
and then you'd send it in. And so one of the local skaters that I looked up to, he was on Circa, like locally, this dude Stacy Gabriel, and he went to my dad and was like, you should just film him skate and like send out a tape.
Whoa.
And so my dad ended up doing that when I was about 11. We put together like 3 minutes of footage. It's so
Amazing.
crazy. Yeah, like
Full dad
shout out
cam.
to dad for sure. Dad cam shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
And at the time, like my favorite video, this is the video I forgot, was Almost Round 3. That's what I watched. Like Chris Haslam was my hero, right?
Gotcha.
And so we sent out promos to Dwindle once a year. And so I got no responses. And then for like 3 years or something like that. And then I was skating in my backyard one day, and my mom comes out and she's like, you got to come in right now. I was like, what? Is everything okay? She's like, Rodney Mullen's on the phone.
You had to have thought that was a joke.
I thought she was
playing a
trolling me.
prank.
I was pissed at first.
Yeah.
100%. And then I answered the phone, and it was fucking Rodney.
Hey, Matt, this is Rodney. Something
Rodney
like
does
that.
call,
Yeah.
He does call people.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
That's we learned that on the show for sure. Don't think it's a prank. Take the call.
Yes.
Could be Rodney Mullen.
He's calling about almost or
Yeah.
yeah.
And I don't remember the phone call at all because I'd never spoken to a pro before, let alone Rodney Mullen. So, but
Blanked out.
yeah, that's where then I got on almost when I think I was about 12.
Okay.
And so I was just this Canadian flow kid, and I would hit up Paul Sharp on an email, and he would send out our boards every few months type thing. And
Wow.
yeah, and so that was what we did. We'd put together footage, send it out in hopes you get a call back, you know? Kind of, I don't know if you guys did that because you grew up around here, but
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of grew up around here. I kind of got
He
in.
slid right in.
I slid in. Yeah, I
He
slid
slid
in
in.
there. Yeah.
I send hella tapes, dude.
I never sent no tapes, but I made sponsor me tapes, but never sent them.
so you had no skate nepotism, huh?
I just kept sending videos, like you said, like every
Yeah.
6 months to a year. I sent Ford Expedition, you know what I mean? Fourth
Right.
one, you get a call back, kind of like you're just
They
saying.
were,
Yeah.
they were finally like, God damn, okay, fine. We'll
Yeah,
just-
yeah. No, but that was a hustle back then, man. You just got to. But
That's
you
the only
weren't.
way.
It wasn't like you were bummed if they didn't call you back. You just kept going.
we
Oh,
just
I sent
didn't-
those
yeah.
bitches out being like, they're never going to hit me
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, and so, yeah, that whole phone call was like very surreal. And then from then on, for the next 9 years, I sent my footage directly to Rodney, and I get these very beautifully written critique emails on my video parts and like how to look at my skating and how to approach things.
Are you
and,
serious?
Wow.
Yeah, which is it.
Do
To
you
this
still
day
have
doesn't
those
make
emails?
sense. We don't.
Damn.
Unfortunately.
You don't remember the password to the account?
I mean, this is like
That's from like an old email.
It's like an
Oh,
AOL
yeah,
account or
yeah,
something like that. Or
yeah.
Hotmail. You guys use Hotmail out there, right?
Yeah.
All the Canadians got Hotmail,
Yeah,
dude.
that was
So I use Hotmail as my junk folder, to
Yeah.
be honest. Anytime I sign up for something, it's on my
Right, there you
Hotmail
go.
account.
yeah.
So was it the board's coming? I mean, obviously you're hitting them up, so they're coming directly from from the World Camp. Is it Dwindle back then? Yeah.
It was dwindled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not distributor or through a shop or anything.
I
It was-
didn't.
wrecked.
We didn't even know distributors existed
Oh, okay.
that you could get sponsored by them. And
Gotcha.
so it was like, oh well, you Google or whatever at the time, almost skateboards, and then you'd get the Dwindle address, and so we just
Send it down
send it there. And then yeah, it's such a, to this day it trips me out because I'd never spoken to a pro in my life, and then all of a sudden I'm on
Rodney
a call
Mullen.
with.
Yeah, that is super.
not
the
even not only
Godfather,
that,
you know,
he's
no doubt.
sending you emails with critiques on how to like
After the
look
fact,
at your
yeah.
skateboards and
Yeah.
filming and so that's insane, man.
Do you
Yeah.
remember anything that he specifically said in the emails? Like, hey, like, or like, is he like skate faster? Or like,
Yeah,
maybe
loosen
skate
your trucks,
So-
tighten your
yeah.
trucks.
Bro, there were like I remember getting some emails where there'd be like 1 or 2 pages of like super eloquent and like well put together emails. But I was so young that I can't speak on exactly what he'd said. But the biggest takeaway and that he kind of drilled into my head was like, you don't want any fillers in your video part. You don't want anything like slightly half-assed. You want everything to be good. Don't give them a reason, to judge your part negatively.
Damn. I mean, that's
And-
advice for the ages right
Straight
there.
up.
you know?
Yeah,
Still to
but
this day.
that was the biggest thing that I held on to. But yeah, shout out to Rodney because he was a tremendous support.
That's
And
awesome.
It's
Big
just
shout out to
so
Rodney.
weird. Like
Did-
to this day, it makes no sense.
Have you ever talked to him about it, like since then? As
Oh
an
yeah,
adult?
yeah.
Oh,
I
you
saw
have?
him in person
Okay.
multiple times
Okay.
and like say hello and talk about it and whatnot.
that's
But, yeah, I was
amazing,
giving
bro.
back for sure.
Were you putting songs to your video parts or just sending footage?
I think sometimes we did, which don't do that, kid.
Keep it raw.
Yeah,
keep it raw.
Yeah.
And then yeah, actually, who put us on not using the songs was Mark Waters. May he rest in peace.
Yeah,
Shout out
yeah,
to
rest
Mark
in peace.
Waters.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very good person. I just how like I got on almost. We sent a promo to Soltech, and we got a call from Mark Waters one day, and then we met him at Slam City Jam, and then he became really good family friends and whatnot.
Wow.
But yeah, Mark actually, I started sending my footage to Mark, and he would be like, cut this, put this. So it was like I had Mark and Rodney kind of helping out.
Jesus.
Because I didn't know. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
no,
like I'm
for sure.
in some small town up in
And you
Canada,
got dad
it's
cam
so
and everything
different.
too at the time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
But how long did your dad film you for?
Still's filming them. His newest video part is filmed by his dad.
Now that's like probably 8 years old or something like that through till probably like 12, something like that. Yeah.
So you're starting to meet people in your zone and go skating with them? Or,
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened with Almost?
I went and skated. Do you guys remember the Maloof Money Cups?
Oh, yeah.
They had a Maloof Money Cup in Washington, D.C.,
Mm-hmm.
and I skated that. And then I got in the shuttle to go back to the hotel. And I remember I was tripping because Jeff Rowley got in the van. And he gets up front, and I was like, holy shit, Jeff Rowley's in here. I didn't say a word to him. And then he turns around and he's like, hey, are you Matt? I was like, yeah, I'm Matt. Talked to him, and then we kind of just, I don't know, talked about skateboarding, and then I asked him about his path.
Hello?
Oh, JC's got it. JC's got it.
Okay.
You're good.
Yeah.
I was just stoked to meet him and talk to him because,
Well, he's a legend.
well, not only is he a legend, but like he came from another country, which, you know, if most people from other countries kind of can relate to, where it's like if you're trying to actually become a pro skateboarder and get to California, you kind of got to turn pro twice. You got to come up in the country you're from, get the distributor support, and at the time it was the mags and stuff, and then you kind of come here and start from scratch, and you know, hopefully it works out.
Right.
Damn, I just lost my whole.
No,
train
you
of
saw
thought.
Jeff
What were we talking
Rowley.
about?
He said,
Right,
are you
Jeff.
Matt? And
Yeah.
then, yeah.
Yeah, and then I talked to Jeff for a couple hours just about skateboarding and what it was like coming from Britain. And I was coming on a trip to California that following winter, and I was like, I'd love to come skate with you if you're cool with it. He's like, yeah, let me know.
Wow.
And then Jeff called me about 3 weeks later, and then he asked me if I wanted to be AM for Flip.
Wow.
So wait, at this point in time, how long were you on Flow for almost this whole time? Or you actually got on the Squat
No.
Am?
I mean, I was trying to go in, but it wasn't happening.
So you were
Yeah.
you were on Flow for almost for how long?
8 or 9 years.
A long time,
Yeah,
dude. And then
something
here's
like that.
Jeff Rowley now asking you right away
Yeah.
to be Am for Flip.
Mm-hmm.
Did you send Rodney an email or something?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no doubt. Originally was like, well, I asked almost what to do. Like, what do I do here? These guys are hitting me up. You guys have supported me, and they're like, come have a meeting at Dwindle offices. And I was like, cool. You want to pay for the flight? And they're like, no, we can't. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm out.
Yeah. It's like, what do you-
Pretty much. What do you want
Like,
me
I
to
don't
do?
got
Come down
money for
there?
this, you know. I'm
knock
like
yourself out.
19, you know. But I obviously reached out to Rodney and thanked him eternally because
Wow.
the amount of time he delegated, and he didn't have to do that, you know.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
yeah, it's been a very bizarre path for sure.
And how old were you when you met Jeff and he called you to be Am for Flip?
I was like 18 or 19.
So 18 or 19. So like you said, this was all happening before the knee thing.
Yeah.
And so you were Am for Flip for a year or so. Then you turned pro? That seems very quick.
No. So
I
I
got the
was,
timeline
I got
wrong?
on when I can't even remember. I was either 18 or 19.
Okay.
And I was on AM, like I was listed on the website, but I wasn't a part of any of the videos and stuff. So it was this
Okay.
weird kind of like space I
Limbo,
was
yeah,
in,
right.
limbo.
Gotcha.
And then I kind of knew it was coming, and the owner called me and just said, hey, like, we're not ever going to turn you pro.
Seriously?
And so I was like, okay, that's cool, but can I keep getting boards? And yeah, and then I just was like, all right, it's now or never. And so I just went harder and tried to get more footage and whatnot. And then about a year and a half later, I ended up turning pro.
You didn't
No
take, you didn't
way.
take you didn't take no for an answer.
Yeah, they both called me. Both owners called me like, hey, we're never going to turn you pro. But I was like, okay, that's okay. Can I keep getting boards? Like,
That
I just wanna
is
skate.
fucking cool, dude. I did not know that about you. I didn't know that, like,
He said, okay,
But
I'm gonna go do this shit.
it is cool. It's cool they let you know.
It's so cool.
It's
Yeah.
cool to let you know, just like, hey, you're not in the plans, but you're like, okay, but it's always up to the skater to make
I'm
it
going to
happen.
make
Yeah.
it be
Yes.
in your plans.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that.
And at the time I understood it too. It's like at the time the AM team was Alec, Kern, and Louie, and they were doing Flip 3, which was like a big video.
Extremely sorry, right?
No, like I don't know if you guys remember, but they had an AM video for Flip Riders, and it was Louie, Lopez, Kern Caples, and Alec Majerus, but they didn't include me in that. So I already knew. I was like, yeah, I don't think these guys are gonna do it. So it was respectful and actually cool. They were still down to support. And then, yeah, at that point, I was still in Canada, so it made sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, after getting that news, I was like, all right, I'm just going to go all in. And so I moved out of my place, stopped paying rent, and I just lived out of my suitcase and traveled and skated as much as possible.
Who was
filmed.
just filming with random people or people you knew, or how did
Like,
that work?
I delegated the money that I'd pay to rent. I put it towards film trips. So we were really lucky. We had connections in China because of Vancouver, a lot of expats and whatnot that skated. And so we used to do annual trips out to Shenzhen and Guangzhou.
Really?
Just the homies. And so we all would put our money together to do a big annual 1-month film trip.
Damn.
And so that was a crazy thing, and it worked really well because going to China is the best spot.
Are you guys staying at Cafe Experience also?
Cafe Experience. Oh yeah, no, we went to Cafe
You went to
Experience.
Cafe Experience?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
And the Beeble breakfast.
Yeah, they had the whole
Yeah,
thing
they
named
got
after
all
the
their
whole
breakfast,
team,
man.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone had their own
amazing.
breakfast.
Yeah.
Did you have your own breakfast?
I didn't get my own breakfast. I would have. I wanted like pancakes. No, I'm just kidding.
I got mine.
didn't.
I got
You got?
mine.
What did you have?
Shit, I don't even remember.
Oh shit.
I know LD had one.
Yeah, LD had one.
They were like-
Dude,
Vince had
that
one.
that place was awesome because you go for breakfast and you
they were
drink
making-
beers there all night.
They were making money off us, dude.
Oh
That's
yeah,
for
they
damn
loved
sure.
it. They were
Yeah.
like,
Definitely loving it. But they were crying when we left, bro. Like the couple of the waitresses, bro, they were so bummed. We changed their lives, bro. Like we came through and like they never had no people like us there. Really, they never did.
And you guys were probably spending money there. I don't know if they don't tip out there, so you're probably like, oh, here's
oh
some
dude,
extra
we
bucks,
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
It was
For
a
sure.
it was a nonstop.
Yeah.
Like that was our spot for
Mhm.
sure. And people were out there all the time. That hotel became synonymous with skaters. I mean, I think it was all Clairvaux.
Clairvaux, dude.
Yeah,
He
he
kinda lined up all
he
that up.
pioneered that
Yeah.
whole thing.
So you're going out to China a lot, and you're just filming.
Yep.
And then are you just keep sending them footage? A flip?
No, dude, I mean, it is such a weird path. I was like, well, I don't want to just put out this footage, on the internet. I was hoping to find some place for it. And so I just kept stockpiling footage.
Mm-hmm.
And then the contest stuff started to kind of get better. I'd skated in Phoenix Am and it worked out.
Didn't you win?
Yeah.
You won Phoenix Am.
And then that kind of got my foot in the door. I learned this after the fact, but they wanted to just throw someone in who never skated a pro contest into Street League to see if they could like hang out
Oh,
and
interesting.
handle it. And then I skated that. And that's actually what kind of, I guess, was the jump start to getting my name big enough where they could turn me pro at Flip. Because after that had happened and I'd done well enough and earned a slot in Street League, it was like overnight. It was a whole different world for me.
Really?
So
Yeah.
I think I remember this, but was it like 2013 or 14 when you skated?
14.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and at that Nike park they
Yeah.
had. That's I remember watching it from home, and that's how I was like guessing scores. But I remember you skating in it.
But wait,
that
did-
was the contest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you win that contest or no?
So it was like a contest within a contest. It was such a bizarre thing, but they had like 24 pros that didn't have their own slot in Street League,
They're trying to get in Street League.
but they skated the main Street League event at the same time. So it was like meshing the two groups into one. So like Nigel's skating while Figgy's dropping in afterwards, even though Figgy's not in.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was super bizarre because I just skated and then did my thing, and then all of a sudden we're going into finals, and they're like, "Here's a trophy." I'm like, "What do you mean the contest isn't over?" And they're like, "You won." I'm like, "There's no contest. Like it's not over yet." You know?
So you won.
I was so confused.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
What did you win?
I won.
Slot.
I came first out of the 24 that weren't in Street League.
Pros.
Yeah, and so they gave me. I earned a slot, so they're like, "Hey, you're in Street League now."
Okay, that's it. Okay.
And then I was a no-namer too at the time, and this is when Street League was like a lot of people coming
Yeah,
out. It was
right.
a really big deal.
Marquee
whatever.
players in there.
Yeah, you
Wow,
had Deer Deck
okay.
effect and whatnot.
Yeah.
So you got into Street League, and that's when Flip was like, "Okay, we'll turn you pro."
I think that was what kind of kicked things off, and then everything that followed after that. Like then I had the leverage to go to the U.S. government and kind of plead my case to get an athlete visa to come here and skate. And then Jared Lucas helped me out, and I'm staying with him, and we're filming a bunch. And then because of the hype that brought, Transworld's asking to do an interview, and then the ball started to kind of roll from there. But yeah, it's such a weird thing because it happened really quickly for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. And then the knee stuff happened after you turned pro.
Yeah, it was like a year and a half after that.
After.
Then it was like
Okay.
doom and gloom.
Jesus Christ. But the
Yes.
turning pro thing was did they surprise you? Did they just say, hey, you deserve it now? Or do you have a conversation about it?
Yeah, they called me up and said that they wanted to turn me pro. And so I was aware that was in the plans, but they didn't give me any more understanding or like a
Okay.
date or anything like that. And then I was invited to go to Lola's in Long Beach for we had to do some type of team meeting.
What's Lola's? Restaurant?
It's
a little
Lola's,
Mexican spot.
joint.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Okay.
But
Kenny
then-
Hoyle would always go there. Yeah.
Kenny Hoyle, shout out Kenny Hoyle,
Kenny
Nolly
Hoyle.
Heels.
Hell
We got
yeah,
good Nolly
dude.
Heels.
Hell yeah.
It is right.
Side note,
Yeah.
Oops, sorry, JC.
but yeah,
I'm
it was
fucking all
super
wrong.
cool, and I just thought I was going there to hang out with the team, and then I got surprised with the board.
Okay.
And, yeah, it's
Oh,
crazy.
Lance Mountain is there.
Mm-hmm.
Was that Jack Olson? No. Who was that?
That's
That's
That was
awesome.
Alec Majerus.
Yeah.
Dude, he looked so young there, bro. Was that Rune?
Oh, here he
Am I
is.
tripping?
Yeah, it was.
Is there music in this?
How's the injury? Dude, it's so frustrating. I have like.
They're like filming you, by the way. Do you know? Are you just like, oh, it's just a day in the life thing? No
They
big
said we were
deal.
doing like team interviews,
Okay.
which I was like, okay.
At Lola's. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have no idea? Do you have some inkling?
I can't lie. When I was walking up and saw a certain car and that was parked, and I was like, oh shit, it might be happening right now. But I
Wait,
didn't know.
What do you mean?
Why-
Whose
why-
car?
yeah.
Owner?
Yeah. It was just one of those things. It was like, I think this might be it.
Really?
I don't know. It was like an inkling. I don't know. I'm not really.
Because you knew that it was in the books. You knew it was in the plans to turn
Yeah.
pro. You just didn't know when.
What's going on at all?
You look a little like you're like, hey, what's going on? Is there
Well, imagine you sit down and they're like straight to filming. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
right?
And there's other people there. Like, why aren't you pointing the camera?
No
at
one
them?
was there though. It was just me at
Oh,
the
just
time.
you there at that point. I saw the
Yeah.
people already, but you didn't see them.
I didn't see them. They're all in the back.
Oh, they're all in the back.
Oh, dude, I'm
Oh, this is a plant right here. They planted this kid. Gave him the board. I love that. We got to play that. I don't know if the music.
Yeah, it was cool.
That's
crazy.
dope. Oh, Lance Mountain. I mean,
shit.
Lance Mountain's there.
Arto shooting
Arto.
photos.
Look at that.
Good amount of people there.
Yeah, that was definitely like kind of
That's cool.
the final era of the team. You know,
Mm-hmm.
of the Flip Sorry effect. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you were on Flip for a while.
Yeah.
How many years?
I think a decade. Did a decade with him.
Really? Why, after a decade? I don't know what happened if they let you go or you quit, or I don't know what happened there. But like, what? I guess I'm asking what happened.
Well, I always felt very loyal to the brand because no one really supported me, you know, like when I rode for almost like they didn't put any foot forward. And then Jeff coming in, I was very loyal to Jeff.
Sure.
I'll say things definitely changed once Jeff left. And then there was kind of a trickle down effect of other guys slowly leaving. But
Okay.
I grew up watching the videos, so I always definitely stayed true to it and was psyched on it. But yeah, it just kind of it got to the point where it was definitely time to go. I kept having problems with the boards, unfortunately. I don't know if you guys have ever had batches of bad boards where they're super flexible.
Mm-hmm.
And damn, it's such a like touchy subject to talk about. But yeah, I don't know. It just sometimes you got to move on.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I tried for as long as possible to stay stoked riding for them. And then the amount of trips I went on with defective boards and then leading into the 2020 Olympics, getting out there and having like another completely botched batch of boards. That was that was pretty frustrating.
What's happening there? It seems like a manufacturing thing. It's not a flip thing. Obviously, they have the boards, they got the boards, and now it's a manufacturing problem. It's a wood shop.
Yeah, and it was a problem that we had been dealing with quite a lot, and they didn't want to really solve it, unfortunately.
So weird.
But yeah, after that had happened, I called them up. I kept my mouth shut, and I was like, hey, this box of boards just ruined this whole opportunity I worked for,
Oh, jeez.
But like, what are we going to do? How are we going to fix it? And there wasn't any apology or any plan to fix things. And so I think for me, it was like my love of the brand and growing up being a huge fan of Flip, all that kind of ended. And so stepping on the board didn't feel the same.
Wow.
And so it was just kind of time. And then 6 months later, I was like, they wanted me to go on tour. I was like, I'm not going. We're done.
That's
here.
it.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
And no backup plan either, right? No. Did you have any? No.
No, not
Just
at
like,
all. I mean, for me, skateboarding is, there's the business side and whatnot, but it's at the end of the day, it's for me,
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't feel comfortable or stoked on something,
Why are you supporting it?
what's the point?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Huh.
Was
Yeah.
it something?
That must have been hard.
Yeah. Was there did you try looking at other boards to like, hey, I just want to skate this. Can you make this? Like, I know it's the board crisis thing is a big deal. So I can understand going through that's probably tough, but
yeah, no, it was definitely, it sucked. I think because when you grow up such a fan of something, you're like, oh my God, I'm a part of this, and then it works out how it works out. That always sucks, no matter what, no matter how well it goes, even if you get let go or whatever. But the board thing was interesting because I would have these issues with batches of boards. Some would be good, other boxes would be bad. And after skating in 2020 in the Olympics, and like I couldn't skate any board, they were just flexing like a snowboard.
Damn.
And so I started calling friends who knew board production. I was like, what happened? Like, how did this happen again? What is this, And I got connected with a friend who's been working in the industry producing boards for like 14 years. And he was like, I was actually stoked you called because I watched what happened to you at the Olympics. Like, I saw what happened to your board.
What happened to the board at the Olympics? I missed it. What was it?
It makes it sound like I'm blaming it all on that, and I don't want that to be the case, but it's just like, I mean, you ever try and go and get a trick on a board that ain't the right shape or, but basically the presses they were using, they use a 2-part glue that's water soluble.
Okay.
And they need to cure, I think, for a long time. And the boards I get sometimes, they're maybe not properly cured, or maybe it's the glue. The guy I went and talked to, he said it's because of the glue mixture they use. And then it was super hot there as well. So you already have a moisture content in your board because it's a 2-part glue. And then now you're skating in humidity and it's 105 out.
Dude, it's flimsy.
So everything turns flimsy if you're using that. Okay. And so going to him, he dialed me in on like figuring out all of the dimensions on a new shape, and then it's strictly epoxy resin. And then immediately after stepping on those boards for the first time, I was like, holy shit, this is what it feels like to skate something good.
You didn't think the whole time maybe like, hey, let me just go to the skate shop. Let me trade in some boards. Let me get a board that I like. I mean, it happens all the time. Skaters just do it, right? And then they put like their sponsor stickers on and, kind of fake the funk a little bit, but they're skating a board that they can ride.
Yeah. I just felt like I was still on this board company.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if you imagine you were at your peak when you're riding for chocolate.
Sure.
And then you go to Val Surf and you're like, hey, let me test out this Plan B or whatever.
I will tell you this, man. There was a point in time where I liked the alien-shaped boards. The alien boards were very steep. The concave was great, and I had maybe ridden somebody's board or something, and I loved it.
Yeah.
So there was a point in time that I would take a big chocolate sticker and just get a trade in the board and put a chocolate sticker on it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Skate it. Yeah.
Most of my career or expedition, I skated girl boards.
Damn.
Yeah, if you look at photos and magazines or footage, it's just stickered, like Chris said, stickered up, and it was just like a certain shape and a certain flatness to it I liked. So yeah,
but I understand. Like I think that you were remaining loyal and didn't want to fake the funk.
It just ran its course. There's no like hard feelings anymore about it or any of that. It's just like, okay, if I can't. I think the biggest deciding factor for me was when I went and stepped on a blank board, I was more hyped.
Right.
And so I was like, and now it's my cue to get out of here. You know what
Okay.
I mean?
Okay.
Like, so
When you were making the board with epoxy resin, and I guess we should get Professor Schmidt on the phone, but it cures harder. It's got more snap to it. You don't have that flex. We were talking earlier before the
Yeah.
show, like you're kind of a bigger dude, right? Maybe 6'2", and some boards you can get on and they'll really flex.
Yeah.
Right. And then so you need like a stiff board. We talked about it with Professor Schmidt with Cordano. He was
Yeah.
making special boards for Cordano because he's a big dude.
Yeah.
And he was just snapping boards left and right.
yeah.
And so to make that perfect little mold and glue mixture or whatever it is was like crucial for him to like keep skating.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you did
Yeah.
with your homie. What was his
well,
name?
not a homie, Eric Sentian.
Oh, Eric Sentian.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Shout out
yeah,
to
yeah,
Eric.
Yeah.
Big help.
Gotcha.
Dwindle. He was there for
Yeah.
a long time.
He was
right?
Dwindle, I think, for like 14 years.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, appreciate you.
So you worked with Eric to produce these boards that you're riding now.
Yeah.
And you're still riding them and you buy them.
Yep.
That's it's crazy, dude.
Is that crazy?
Well,
Not really.
I
So
think,
if
well,
if you
like
want to
it,
skate a good board,
let me just tell you
yeah,
something.
pay for
But, I
it.
mean, like
Yeah.
you're an incredible skateboarder. I think that you were on Flip for a decade. You said like you definitely deserve to be on a squad, and get that. I don't know. So it is. Yeah, it's dope that you buy boards, but I think that you shouldn't be buying boards. You should be pro. And
Well, I appreciate that.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a big compliment. I mean, I think, as we all know, the industry's in quite a valley right now.
Valley is a nice way of putting it.
Or a famine. I don't know what you
Yeah.
want to call it.
It's in shambles.
It's not doing the greatest. And then, in all honesty, I haven't really put myself out there in that regard.
So you haven't looked around. You haven't put.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I haven't really gone and done that.
Gotcha.
What about? I thought Disorder was something going on, or is that?
Those are just the homies. Bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I thought you were skating with them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I could see something like that happening. But,
Yeah, no. I mean, when I first came to the States, like I'd met Nija, and he's always been cool to me. And then obviously getting to know Domo, and then I live in Orange County, so we just skate the warehouse all the time. And I always love skating with those dudes too, because they show up on sessions with real energy, But in terms of board things, I've just been kind of cruising, and
Okay.
it's been nice that every time I go step on my board, it is my shape.
Yeah.
To the point where it's. I mean, I'm super down to figure out something, of course, but
For
I'm
sure.
not stressing it. I'm just enjoying skateboarding right now.
And to that being said, I think we've said it on the show a lot of times. Like you kind of don't need a board sponsor sometimes. You know what I mean? Like
These days.
these days. Like back in our day, like
Yeah.
you needed
That
a
was
board
everything.
sponsor for sure. That was like number one. you
Yeah.
know?
Because then
Now-
that would lead to other things.
For sure. Now it's not number one. It's maybe number 2, 3, or 4. So.
I don't even know what's going on anymore. It is crazy.
Well, you got a great.
though.
I mean, you got Monster. Monster's got your back. You
Yep.
know, that's a fantastic sponsor to keep you. Keep the mouth fed and pillow under your head.
keep
know
you
what I mean?
energized.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
That too.
Yeah, I got
So-
some cool TMs. I got Joey Shigale and Matt Bennett.
There you go.
Sick.
That's right.
Reporting to
Yeah,
those dudes.
dude.
for
Oh yeah, I
sure.
was tripping. Matt Bennett's there now too.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, he went from he was Vans
Yeah.
before. Yeah, now he's a Monster. Sick. Yeah, dude. I mean, like, I don't know. It sounds like you're stoked, regardless of what happened with Flip, and you're skating. You're doing what you want to do, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you can't force things. If there's one thing I know about
another
the skate
thing,
industry,
too.
everything, it just kind of comes naturally,
Right. Right.
And
True.
I'm not here to force nothing. I just am enjoying skateboarding and doing my thing, and I'm super grateful that I'm still here and even being able to talk to you guys, especially with everything I've had to go through as a skater. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Do you have an idea of what do you want to do your own thing, or do you want
No, I ain't doing my own thing.
to? There you go.
I like that.
I ain't adding to that problem.
I like that because I think in people's prime, what they want to do, it's like just skate and don't worry about like a business side of things.
Yeah.
Get that time into skate. When you're old enough, start going.
Well, I'll tell you
outside.
this right now. You start a business and you ain't skating that much
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a fact. You
Yeah.
know, you have to get people to like Scheckler started his thing. He's not running that thing day to day. I don't think. He's got people to help him, and it's a lot.
No
It's
doubt.
a lot.
Well, on the other hand, then, do you have a dream list of who you might want to skate for?
Give us your top 3. No. Yeah, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you're,
We're gonna keep those under wraps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, too, it's just you going out and whoever you want to vibe with, those are your friends, and that works out.
That's what I'm saying. It,
you know?
it isn't even really like, I think a dream list, I think it's came back to reality. You know how we can pedestalize certain things or companies or whatever. For me, it's more of skating for someone that understands what we do, supports it, and then the crew has a real good energy. So I'm not over here like obsessing over whatever brand. For me it's more about the people.
Yeah, have
I'm
to be the right
skating with.
fit. In that
Yeah,
sense.
100%.
Definitely.
And that's something I feel will only happen naturally.
Yeah,
And then if it doesn't, that's also fine by me, man. I still get to skateboard, so
yeah.
we're good either way.
Totally, dude.
Most
Are you still looking to, now that you're starting to slowly skate again, the contests, like, street league starting back up and, or later this year, are you looking to get back into the contest?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down to skate a street league for sure. Those have always been super fun events. I think the biggest thing, especially with the grind of, getting back to the Olympics, you got to sacrifice so much street time if you want to do it. Playing, whether you like it or not, that's just facts. So I'm just hyped to get some film trips going.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. And where's the first place you're planning on going?
I want to go back to China. I got a friend in Atlanta. Shout out to Christian. I'm going to go skate Atlanta. And then I want to do some Texas trips as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Texas is popping right now, huh? I feel like Dallas and Austin,
Yeah.
they got some good spots.
I feel like George is just kind of
yeah.
holding it down on there. Yeah.
China's a good place to lock in your first trip. I think that's a good decision because you know what you're there for, and you've got a fucking amusement park of shit there to skate. So
Yeah.
it's a good place to start.
Word.
Your last part, there was a lot of China clips in it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
Yeah, a lot of Guangzhou, some Shenzhen.
Yeah, we spent I've gone there probably like 3 times and spent like 2 weeks each time. So it's a good time.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
The spots, that's one thing I loved about going to China is like the spots are so perfect. If you don't get your trick, you can't blame the spot.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're just shitty today and you can't do the trick.
Perfect marble
damn
ledges,
true.
perfect
Yeah.
ground. Like
Yeah.
it's you said it right. It's an amusement park
Yeah.
of skate spots. It's crazy.
It's
out
crazy
there.
because like you go to like whatever, you could drive 20-30 minutes outside of the city and there's like a brand new structures and plazas and you're like, dude,
There's no one even here.
There's no one here.
It's not even
going on?
inhabited. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember, I think his name was Patrick Wallner. You guys
Yeah.
ever heard the name?
Yeah.
You remember
Yep.
he had a video that went viral way back of Ordos. He went to one of the, remember that?
The empty city, right?
It's a fully built city with no one living in
Yeah,
it and
yeah.
just crazy skate spots.
They've got
they
like
overbuilt.
yeah, they got a couple of those in China, I think, right? Just crazy. You're trying to pull it up right now.
How crazy is that? This is like, oh, we didn't need to do all this.
Yeah.
Like, whoops.
Bro.
Well, that'll get
Yeah.
Eventually, people
Yeah.
will live here. But China's it's a great spot. I mean, Barcelona and China, I feel like
Barcelona too.
are hand in hand with Barcelona. More is like it definitely it's more of a culture in Barcelona, skateboarding. China's not so much a skateboarding culture out there. It's more of just spots.
Yeah.
If you want to lock in and get clips, China is great.
Yeah.
If you're spending your money and you want to get clips and have like the full culture and
Yes.
experience, Barcelona would be my first stop
a
every single time.
Great way to put it, for
100%,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, because it is a culture. Skateboarding is a culture out there. It's like nothing I've ever seen before in my life. Like growing up here, I mean, skateboarding was like born down the street here,
Yeah.
and like, yes, it's somewhat of a culture, but nothing like Barcelona.
Yeah.
It's like another level.
Yeah, the
Skate-
lifestyle is next level out there for sure.
It's crazy. But so that's your plan, is just kind of travel around and film. I mean, you said you got 2 minutes or 2 years worth of footage right now.
Yeah, it's like 2.5, 3 minutes.
2.5,
or so.
3 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of it I had to delegate to other projects, and when that
Sure.
came out, you know how it goes.
What about Monster? Are they going to do anything this year, video wise? Maybe you can
Hey.
contribute.
Hey Joey, what's going on? What's our program? I don't know.
See,
I have no idea.
I mean, they got I'm sure they got something lined up. They're going to do some stuff, right?
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, we do stuff around the world. Like the last trip I went on, we did 3 weeks in Australia, and that was the sickest because it was like 15 of us in just streets all day, every day.
That's so sick.
Sydney through to
I was
Melbourne.
going to say Sydney to Mel. Okay.
Yeah, that
Australia's
was
great.
amazing.
Fun time right
Super
there.
fun. What's your favorite so far that you've traveled to? What city or
Damn. My favorite.
Okay,
Honestly-
let's put it this way. If you had to move to a place for a year.
Oh, Barcy for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
why
yeah.
I mean, it's like the stock answer, but like it's
It
so
is.
sick out there, bro.
Okay, number 2 spot. Barcelona's gone. It's off the map. Don't worry about it. Skateboarding's illegal there.
Australia blew my mind because there's like nothing's capped out there. There's endless spots, beautiful beaches. I really like skating. in
People are
Australia.
nice people
Yeah.
out there.
Where would you go? Sydney, or where'd you go?
We did Sydney and Melbourne.
Okay. I feel like, I mean, I didn't really get a chance to go out in Sydney, but all the OG spots didn't seem like they were there anymore. Maybe I'm tripping. When I went to that 3 stair in a row spot, 333, the Mark Johnson nollie flip, back 180 cavalier
Oh
flip.
yeah.
That was like done, but I think maybe, I don't know.
Where's the spot with it's like the museum out there. It's like got the gap.
Yeah.
It's got
That's
the
in-
black
that's in Melbourne.
marble.
That's in
It's in
Melbourne.
Melbourne.
I think it's a Melbourne museum.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
still
I
there?
believe so.
Is that still there?
I think it's still there. They would cap that. I don't know. I think you might be able to skate.
All I know is the homie who had the spot book out there. He had like 1,200 spots. And I was like, "This
Okay,
is, I've
never
never
mind.
saw this
Yeah,
much."
yeah.
You know, this is
They got
ridiculous.
spots. All right.
Yeah, they had it dialed for sure.
Okay.
1,200 spots.
Wow, man. So, video part. That'll be. I'm looking forward to that, dude. I think you should put together at least this year. You should do something. I feel like.
Oh, I mean the video part stuff's never gonna stop.
Yeah,
I
no, I
haven't put
know.
so in a while, but
if you
we've always stayed filming, but with injuries and all that stuff,
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh, damn, like he doesn't do it anymore," and it's like, no, I do, but
isn't that funny?
that's just skateboarding.
You got to
man.
keep it in front of people, and
Yeah.
It's kind
I
of
always
crazy. It's always hard for me to like have a video part. You start filming and then you get hurt for a year, and then you start filming on top of that video part again. It's like it's so different feeling.
Yeah,
It's like 2 different eras. I feel like I felt like on my footage sometimes.
Right.
So do you don't feel that way, or do you feel like you should just get that out and then start something new, or do you feel like you just need to finish that off?
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to like sit back down once let's say I had everything ready to go right now.
Yeah.
I might feel different about certain clips because they are older, But overall, I mean, why not? I don't know.
Yeah.
Skate, we overthink things sometimes.
so
That's
damn
true.
true.
That's the thing.
That's what I was saying.
Like if you put out a part today,
Mm-hmm.
like, thank you. I'll be stoked to
That's
see
right.
it. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
exactly it.
Right.
But again, we're our own worst critics, so we're just like, oh, maybe I'll wait a little bit. I could add some stuff, or I could do. But it's just like, dude, put the shit out.
Well, that's what, I mean,
Yeah.
even Instagram, everybody's overthinking what to post and this and that.
So,
and like you said,
man.
like if you're not in front of people, they just think you're gone, you're falling off. And I used to like that back in the day, where I wouldn't see a skater for 2 or 3 years, and all of a sudden their video part would come out, and I'd be like, holy shit, this is gnarly. Like I wouldn't, nowadays I know what to expect in their video part almost, because I've seen it all on Instagram. I've
Yeah.
seen their trajectory. I've seen all the tricks they're doing. I'm like, that video part doesn't surprise me anymore. You know, I'm like, dude, disappear for a little bit, but you can't almost. It's
You
really
can't do that.
weird.
You can't do that.
yeah, we're kind of.
But it's almost like I like that, though. I
If you
like
sponsor
that.
them, then
Pretty much.
sponsor. Give them
Unfortunately.
They can write from our bolt company, Nuts and
Okay,
Bolts.
There you go.
Matt Berger's about to get on, dude. Trust me.
Remember that that part that Joe Face was talking about the other day? That I had this video part before I broke my ankle, and I never finished it. He's like, "Why don't you put it out?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just once I was done with that, and I broke my ankle, I was like, I'm on to something else. I don't. That was just me.
But that's also nowadays, like that's a nostalgic, because you're not going to work on a new video part now, I don't
Yeah.
think.
Well-
but releasing an old video part now would just be kind of like a little bonus.
yeah. Well, now I can do it. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. A little old.
But
thing,
there's dudes that are like that, like a guy Mariano, bro. He has so much footage that has not been seen that he don't want you to see. Like he's just like, what? I'm like, dude,
You're
put that-
depriving us,
put that
man.
shit out for the people, bro. Like they
For
want to see
real.
that, even though you don't think that that's good enough. Like for whatever reason, I mean, he has his own, makeup of who he wants to show you, But at the same time, bro, it's like put that shit out. That's just my feeling.
Feel you, dude.
I feel like too, like especially your guys' era, you guys had legacy parts every 3 to 4 years that were like the statement pieces. Versus now, it's like you got to put something out every year, and
Yeah.
then some people will hold. And Foy's the perfect example of just many years of footage coming out this year, and boom, you're Sodi, right?
Sure.
You killed it.
Yeah.
But your era was like you didn't have to get a video part out a year, or did you?
No,
No.
that's what I'm saying.
There was no
People-
pressure, no like timelines like that. Like it
No.
was just like we're filming for a video, however long it takes. That's how long it takes.
That's why I was saying
You know?
people would kind of disappear for a couple years, you know, and you really wouldn't see them. Maybe they got a photo in a mag or something. Maybe they
Yeah.
got a trick in 411 or whatever it was. But you really didn't see much of that person until that video part came out. And that's what to me was the most amazing and surprising part about that, is not seeing that person and then just being blown away by what they're doing.
There was
you
like
know?
a handful of people that could do that. Like Gino Guy, there was those guys. And then you would see
Yeah, but I mean,
Costin
bro, like-
left it. You would see Costin in every freaking magazine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he was out going to all the
sometimes-
contests.
Yeah.
I mean, he's staying active. you
Yeah.
know?
You would see those dudes, but we all grew up being like, oh, damn, Guy. Guy was like this mythical creature. Same with Gino. You never saw them. You saw him.
Yeah.
You guys did. But yeah, like that was the only area or era that could kind of live like that.
Right. But there was a lot of industry people, a lot of skaters that kind of would follow the same route. Yeah, but there was
Tom Penny.
obviously
Tom Penny back then.
Of course, there's the
Yeah.
top echelons of the people who would disappear and reappear. But
They
I
had
think-
that luxury to do
yeah,
it.
like a person like me,
Yeah.
like I'm not that. I can't. Like I have to almost disappear for a while and film my shit because I can't get. I can't have two. I'm not getting. Dub, I'm getting a trick a month. You know what I mean? Like I can't keep up with everything, dude. So yeah, I don't know. It was a little bit more exciting to me when I wouldn't see somebody and then bam, here goes your video part.
I was talking about this with my friend the other day. Cause they're like, do you watch a lot of skating? And I was like, no, I don't, but I schedule it. So I try and enjoy it more. So I don't watch as much on Instagram and try and avoid consuming it.
Okay.
So when I do sit down to watch whatever is on Thrasher or whatever, I actually can enjoy it.
Right.
Because there's so much content all the time that I kind of noticed. I was like, why am I not caring about this or enjoying this
Oh my God!
video
It's just
part
like
as much?
you're scrolling past
It's
it.
too
just
much
like,
all the time.
It's crazy.
But how do you just? But I'm sure you follow like 1,000 skaters or
Yeah.
however on your Instagram. So you just kind of like quickly go through it all and you don't really pay.
I mean,
attention.
I can't lie. I'm still on Instagram
Sure,
for
sure.
sure. But I literally try to avoid it. And then when I consciously, like, I'll wait for a bunch of video parts to kind of come out, get a list, and then, all right, I'm going to sit down and enjoy
watch
this,
it.
you know?
Okay. Has
Kind
there,
of give it that grace
Totally.
and try and enjoy it more.
has there been a video in the recent years that you've watched multiple times? Either part or actual video?
I really liked the Dickies video that came out this
Honeymoon.
year.
Yeah, Honeymoon.
That was like
good
a
one.
really refreshing full length to come out.
I
I
agree.
watched that, I think, like 2 or 3 times.
What about excuse me, I always say Baker. But what about the Death Wish video that came out this year too?
I
Or
watched
last
it
year?
completely one time, and then I
Mhm.
watched Foy's part like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
No disrespect to everyone else, but
It's
that's
a
how it
long-
worked out.
Yeah, it's a
We-
long video,
yeah.
but I like that it is much needed for videos like that to come out. I think
Even
you know?
the New Balance video, that shit was great.
Right, wasn't a full length, but
No.
focus on 3
It's
people.
like 19 minutes of just pure
Yeah.
dope ass skating.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm kind of with you in the same. We all did the same thing. You watch that. There's that always one part in the video that you're just like over and over.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this. Sometimes the credits are my favorite part because it's everybody hanging out together. It's a good vibe. Like if you go watch the Death Wish video, you go watch the credits after Jamie Foy's part. Like the song, they got like a Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton song playing. Like it's just a good time. The vibes are good.
I forgot about that.
They got the news at Berger She Wrote. The Beagles film. Like it's just kind of I like that. I
course.
like that. That's almost
hijinks.
That's almost more important to me than the skateboarding is like the camaraderie. That's what made me
It
want to.
completes it. It brings it
You
all
know
together.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
So the credits sometimes are my favorite
Yeah.
favorite part. I watch it 3-4 times.
I think Crail Tap has done probably the best job at doing the credits.
Credits are great. Yeah.
All those videos when it comes to Mouse to Pretty Sweet to yeah right.
Hot chocolate.
Hot
tour.
chocolate.
Come on, Kelly.
Bro,
I-
that
yeah.
was the other one I forgot. I watched Hot Chocolate like every single day. as
Which
a kid.
one? Hot chocolate or hot chocolate tour?
Hot Chocolate Tour. Sorry.
Okay, okay.
Because that encapsulated the whole dream.
No,
And you guys look like real
Mm.
homies. Sure, you guys had issues at some point, whatever.
Yeah.
But you guys look like a
We all
genuine
hated each other,
family.
man. It was all movie magic.
But
No, but it was a month long
we
tour.
don't see that
Yeah.
anymore. Really, right?
It was just done. I mean, listen, you had Ty Evans and Spike Jones working on it too, so they really put together like a
Yeah,
special video.
No
Sometimes tour videos aren't really fun to watch
There's a few.
sometimes.
The Girl Harsh Barge and Hot Chocolate Tour.
Well, again,
And
you know,
Lakai,
again, you
It's just,
got
but those are
Ty
done by,
Evans.
yeah,
all
like,
Ty
I know.
Evans. Yeah.
So
And
it's-
Video Radio's good. That was a tour
really
video.
who was that?
Circa.
Circa.
And it was like Muska and
Who
Sam
did
Ed-
that? Lee DuPont or something?
Greg Hunt and John
Hunt?
Holland.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Both of those dudes are talented as shit as well.
Hell yeah.
It's a Trans World video, right?
Yep.
Which one?
It's a Transworld video that
Oh,
was
Video
on,
Radio.
It was
Okay,
on
sorry.
Circa tour. Yeah.
So, Honeymoon, you like that? You watched that multiple times.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was cool how you had so many different styles. It reminded me of how it used to be.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many different personalities and styles, but it's put together really well in a full length, and I can enjoy every type of skating, even if I don't
Right.
skate like that.
Totally.
I think we just had Joe Monteleone and Kevin Perez on the show who made the Honeymoon, and they said that I think they had an hour of footage left over. Like they
Yeah.
really like
Oh, they
whittled that
left
thing
shit.
down and really like, just like Rodney Mullen's email to you, like seriously, like the best of the best, no filler. You know, like we're gonna give you what we got. I think that's important for. Bro, we watch so many skate videos here, and like, no offense to anybody, but sometimes they're just boring as shit. You're putting in tricks that don't even, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, let's get rid of filler.
let's get rid of filler. You
Cut
know,
that filler.
if you want to put out a part with filler, call it filler. You know,
Yeah, no, I mean, I welcome it all, but I think I grew up in the era where it was like, I always loved the highest tiers, the HK skating, the biggest rail or rally. You know,
Bro.
that to me was it. So when I watched Fully Flared and you guys presented a whole new way of skateboarding at a different level,
crazy.
you know, so that's how I need to watch skateboarding, I guess. Which
Yeah.
may sound bad in some sense,
No,
but
not
that's
at
just
all.
how it was. Because back in the day, you didn't exist unless you were doing something different, right?
Right?
So, probably sound like a fucking hater right now.
No,
but
No, I don't think
It is
you
what it
sound
is,
like a
man.
hater at all.
Shit.
I think
Nah, not
it
at
is
all.
what it is.
Well, it sucks because like the people put out video parts and that's their hard work, and then and then we're all like, "Damn, that's sick that you worked hard, but it wasn't that good." It's all
because they
filler.
could have done a
Yeah.
lot more. They want to put every trick that they got in there because they've worked hard on it. I get that. I've had tricks left out. Dubs has tricks left out. Like it's for the better of the video, you know. So you really almost have to have somebody in there that's willing to, you know, sacrifice those tricks to make a better video part that'll make it stand out more to people. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, what are you going to do? You're going to give me everything? You're going to get an 8-minute part with 5 songs? Like, relax, dude. Give me the best of the best with
Yeah.
one song. Let it shine.
8-minute part. Mark Johnson, Mark Suchu.
There's only a couple people that can do
Yeah.
it.
Dude, Mark was 13.
13 minutes.
13.
Yeah, that part. It was 3 songs.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, all right, that was cool. That was good
But
because everything
it
was good.
13 minutes, no filler.
Yeah, that was.
That's-
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely damn true.
Yes. Well, in I'm spacing on the company he used to skate for.
Habitat.
No, Mark Johnson.
You know
Oh.
it? Old.
Yeah.
Enjoy?
Maple.
No, Maple. He had a part with the intermission on Maple. You know, so like he's the definition of like how to film a video part.
He's been doing
I
it.
think.
Yeah.
Like you want to take some notes, watch some Mark Johnson parts. Yeah, it's interesting, man. It's a weird thing, and I like your mentality on skating. It's just like you're just gonna skate for yourself and do what feels right to you.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's lost sometimes with people.
yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. And honestly, going through that whole knee injury and basically mentally accepting it's over, you know, then working back and coming back to skateboarding,
Yeah.
I just feel lucky. Like, oh, wow, I still get to do this. Because the state I was in, if I didn't get that surgery, like, I wouldn't even be able to sit in the chair and feel good, right?
Crazy, bro.
And then, yeah, in terms of the video part stuff, it's just we're all our own worst critic. I don't want to put out bullshit.
Totally.
So to my own detriment, I'm not going to put out something that I don't agree with, you know?
Right.
Understandable.
Even though in this day and age, companies expect a lot. So
Mhm.
it is what it is at this stage.
Yeah.
Do you have your own YouTube channel?
Oh, man. I think, how long have I had that now? Since like 07? I don't remember the last time I posted on it though.
Okay. But you
Yeah.
have one.
Mhm.
Right. You could utilize it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people don't. They want to give it to Thrasher. They want to give it to like a big media company because they'll get the views. But, you know, we've seen it before. Like people have built up their YouTube channels, and Seva will put out a part on his YouTube channel and get a lot of views, more views than subscribers, you know. So if you put out something good, it'll get the traction, you know.
That's true.
But, yeah. Well, do what you feel was right.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's
yeah.
the only way to do it.
Yeah. I'm just stoked to be here.
Bro, we're stoked to have you
Yeah,
here,
bro.
dude.
Glad you pulled up.
Kelly, give him some 9 Club stuff, will you?
Yeah,
Do you
dude.
mind?
What XL?
XL, yeah.
XL?
Oh, here we go. Let's see. Let's look at the Matt Berger YouTube channel.
When's the last time we uploaded?
Videos? Transworld
This one
checkout.
when I was a kid.
Shredding and
12 years ago.
11 years ago,
Yeah, it's been a
dude.
while.
Okay. Well, look at this one. Day at the skate park with Matt Berger. 29,000 views 15 years ago. 34 seconds. That's shorter than an Instagram clip, right? You know what I mean? 25,000. Look, you were getting some.
You're ahead of the game, shit,
Yeah,
bro.
17 years ago, dude. An afternoon at the church
Yeah,
skateboarding.
I probably should have just kept doing it, but
34K.
that was just with the homies.
Yeah.
You-
No, you
and
can lose
making
focus on
money
shit
off
like
of
this.
it too. Like that
Yeah.
was never even.
That wasn't a thing.
It
back
didn't
then.
exist back
No,
then.
no.
We
For
just
sure.
did it for fun.
For sure. But it's interesting too because nowadays with YouTube, like I feel like a lot of people think that they need to be this like, hey everybody, today I'm going to go out, you know, like a YouTube voice they say. But I mean, like Brad Cromer's got a YouTube, like Figgy's got a YouTube channel, and they're all just kind of
Yeah.
doing it their own way, you know. And it's like, I like that, you know. I like taking charge of kind of your own destiny, if you will, you know, and like also archiving your own shit too.
Yeah.
You know, having a place where people can go to and watch all of Matt Berger's stuff, you know? So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know what I'm going to do. I've definitely had some conversations, and I'm not really going to cross that bridge until we're ready. But
That's fine. Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, you got time and you could actually use it. Oh, thank you, Kelly, bro.
damn, I'm getting
This
blessed
is,
right now.
oh, yeah, dude, for sure, bro. Well, first of all, Matt, big fan. I'm so glad that you got the knee fixed and the back
dude.
issue. That's crazy that you just had level 8, 9 pain and just skating every day and then going home and just like excruciating car rides. Like
a lot.
skateboarders are like fascinating to me. Like we shouldn't be walking sometimes and we're just sitting, walking around and skating and doing shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank
Dude.
you. Yeah.
Matt Berger, bro. I'm going to give you some stuff, dude. First of all, this is the Yeti 9 Club. You got to stay hydrated out there. Pour some Monster in there, you know what I mean? Fill that thing up with a couple cans of Monster.
That's a lot of Monster,
That
dude.
is.
Listen, Monster.
You'll be on. Like,
Official merch.
Yes.
So where can we buy this online?
That is the 9club.com. Thank you
Okay,
for
there you go.
asking, Matt. I appreciate that. Also, we got the 9 Club hat, you know? I know it's got no Monster logo on it, but you probably have the little patches. You could put a little Monster logo on the patch right
Look
there.
just like you now.
Thank you, bro.
is that a thing? Can you wear like a hat that just put a Monster thing on it?
Yeah.
They have little patches.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't know if it's like.
I'm
you
gonna
can't-
get a couple little patches,
Yeah, Joey, I don't think I'll give you one, dude.
bro.
You got to be on the team, bro.
Yeah.
Next episode, I'm gonna have a patch, Kelly.
I don't know where you're gonna get it.
Trust me.
but-
We
He's
do
to make his own, bro.
We do offer. I got Sharpies. We do offer photo incentive in case you are hard up for some cash.
Wow.
Cover of Thrasher,
Okay.
sticker visible on the board.
Nice.
$20.
$20.
$20.
Buy a
Cash.
chocolate bar.
Cash money. We don't cut no
Sheesh.
checks over here. Cash money, dude.
Really.
Dubs will
creating
come
dreams
and
out
deliver it to you.
Yeah, first thing.
Or Kelly, whoever's in the area. Oh, you OC.
yeah, I
Yeah.
go down there sometimes.
Oh, when you go down to mom's house.
yeah,
Yeah.
I go down to my mom's
Done.
house.
Skull Candy. Shout out to Skull Candy. They support our show also, but we gotta get you a little Hesh Evo. You know, these are good for plane rides,
A little
stuff
dusty.
like that. It's a good.
Very sick. Thank
It's
you.
a good. They're good headphones, man.
Nice.
Yeah, they don't. You don't. You could either do it Bluetooth or have the cord. So, you know, I like corded.
I do the cord.
We do have other colors back there. We just grab stuff, but we have a whole shop over here, 9 Club gear and stuff like that. So maybe if blue's not your color, we got you in a black or anything, but
No,
got
this
you a
looks
9
sick.
Club
I'll take
gear.
it.
Okay. And I did mention the Bolt Company. I wasn't lying. This is your first package.
Welcome to the team, bro.
We have a bolt company called Nuts and Bolts.
Wow.
Yeah. It's your first
Real
package.
creative.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Thank you.
Listen, there's a lot
Put
of
them to the test. Let you know.
there's a lot of bolt companies that have, made millions of dollars and they started with bolts. So we're trying to follow in those footsteps.
There we go.
We're trying to get the foot in the door and just spread the love with bolts. Everybody who's been on the show is on the team, whether they like it or not.
Well, I appreciate it. New sponsor as of today.
Yeah.
Future is bright.
Just
There you go.
maybe
Yeah, hold on to those for a while.
Yeah, bolts last a long time. So maybe in a year, call us. We'll give you another couple black pairs of bolts.
Okay, so
Yeah,
like
couple
6
packs.
months a pair type thing.
That's a good, right?
Okay.
Yeah, people don't. I think a lot of people abuse product. They just like throw shit away. They like new stuff, but they're perfectly fine for 6 months.
If you have like a rethreader thing, keep that on you so you can keep those bolts.
Every session. That's what it takes.
Yeah.
Yep. You need that for like one set of bolts for 6 months, for the rest of the year.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for having me on here. And
No problem.
dude.
Hey,
Same.
it's been a pleasure, dude. Matt and also, dude, the door's always open. Come back, come kick it with us. Come if you got your video part that's coming out. If you got anything new on the horizon, or you just want to come stop by and chat.
No, I appreciate it.
Come by
Been looking
anytime.
out. Yeah, of course.
Bro, okay, congrats on everything, dude.
And good luck on healing up with your hip, dude. I know it's a hard comeback, but you're doing good.
I did the straight 8 yesterday.
Oh, you did?
It was a good day.
Damn,
Hit the straight 8,
dude.
feeling
For
good.
the first time. Back.
Yeah, because I had like cruising around sessions, and then after yesterday, I skated the step up, hit the hip a little bit, and then like skating the hip, not hit my hip.
Yeah.
Real quick, clear it up.
Nice.
And then, of course, we got to get the flat ground in. So
Yeah.
I'm stoked. It's
What
feeling good.
park are you skating? What's your go-to?
I live not too far from Nigel's Park, so I just be driving down there.
Oh, you go
and
there.
stay with
Is that a
Domo.
night? Let me ask you. I mean, I know we're wrapping it up, but I'm so
Yeah.
interested because he's got his own private park.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like super private, or if you go there, are there going to be like a bunch of people there, like friends, not just randoms, but like, is it pretty empty all the time, or
I'd
is
say
it?
it's like the same as Paul's Park. It's just all the homies.
Okay.
Everybody there knows everybody, and there's different sessions, different times and whatnot. But it's actually really cool that he lets us, go skate there and whatnot, and even the local SE heads and whatnot, we go skate. So
Oh, dope.
You could pull up without him and just be like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
I'm coming to.
You got a key,
That's
or is that
dope.
like a code you punch in?
no, Domo lives there. So
Oh.
What?
yeah, there's a suite at the warehouse. So he kind of like holds down the palace. and
That's
then-
sick.
So he
Is it
lives
a
there.
dope? Like, is it? It's
Yeah,
a
no,
suite?
it's
like
a,
it's a
real,
house. It's a
real
real
apartment. Situation. Yeah.
That's dope.
Imagine that.
Gotta stop by there,
Dude,
Chris.
Dominic Walker's lives in a skate park, dude, in an apartment. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Every kid's dream, dude, to like not own. Well, he doesn't own it, but
Oh, Nigel's Park.
he lives there. The dude could wake up, brush his teeth, and go down and skate.
We used to have that at the World Park.
You used to. Okay, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
But there was bunk beds and shit. It
yeah,
was
there's some
different.
crazy shit going on in
It
there.
was a little
too.
different.
Yeah,
That too.
cool, dude. Matt, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you,
on the
guys.
show. bro.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.